So the X-Men are sweet, but did you ever think about what if the X-Men they looked like SpongeBob characters? You ever think about that?
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Live in a pineapple under the sea.
Time for the artiste to go to work.
Now, I don't know exactly why, but this fish has just good Gambit vibes. This fish hand coming up is perfect for the hand holding the card. He charges with power and launches at people. Also, just noticed Gambit sort of got like a drawing glove like me, except it's not on his pinky, which wouldn't help with the drawing. So I guess we're going to be pushing these characters quite a bit to make them look like X-Men. I don't want to lose their SpongeBobbiness. I want to stay true to as much of them as I can and then change where needed. So the pose, I think, is perfect. Gambit has these big boots with like these knee pad things, so I'm going to try to draw those on over this fish shape. Gambit's got very recognizable hair, so that's something we're going to lean into. He doesn't have a mask over his face, so that is helpful. So I think we can use the fish eyes, and I like this pouty mouth. Gambit's got a straightforward, normal nose, nothing too fancy about it. So what is unique about the appearance of Gambit is this sort of like thing. Is it a baklava? Is that what they call that? Or is that like an Italian dessert?
No.
This lower part just comes down right below the chin, and then we just need to kind of curve it around like that. So we got this kind of flowy thing coming over like this, little bouffant, if you will. I don't know if that's the term. So we got this hand here. I'm thinking we'll just sort of do something with the fingers, kind of holding cards.
Later.
All right, so I tightened up the sketch a little bit.
Gambit can never unsee that.
It's looking pretty good. I think it's kind of hilarious, if I'm being honest. And now I'm going to color it. Obviously, I'm going to reference the colors from Gambit, but I'm going to punch them up a little bit, make them a little bit more SpongeBob-y. To get started, I'm actually going to take the brown from the pants, Mr. Fish Guy over here, because it's sort of perfect brown for both the coat and the hair. Gambit has two different colors here, but because SpongeBob-style is a lot more simple, I'm not going to use as many colors as the X-Men would, since it's more of like not really realistic, but you know what I mean? It's more real than SpongeBob. Get some punchy pink in here for this little shirt, blue for these boots. All right, now I just need to do this magic motion stuff behind the card. I think it just needs a little color for the lip and the nose. Gambit's ready to go. Let's do another one.
2 hours later.
All right, next up, we got Jubilee.
Me.
I think Sandy is the closest match for a character that we could turn Jubilee into.
Feel, losers.
I don't like it.
I'm going to start with this lower Sandy to get the overall shape of the head, and then see if we can Jubileeify it. I think the easiest thing for me to do would be to just trace the overall outline of the head. So what I'm thinking is we can try to put her sunglasses on the top. I think the ears are crucial for Jubilee because she's got those big earrings. So I think maybe we can kind of hop an ear over here and then maybe the big earring like that. And then it's just sort of all about that hair. I think it could pass as Jubilee once we get the colors in there and the rest of the costume. I think Sandy can play Jubilee in this new show.
As Destroyer and Transformer.
I also think that the karate Sandy poses with these kicks will be perfect for this. I think it'll be a nice action pose when we put all the characters together into one composition. All right, so let's get the torso in here, and like the shoulder, and the neck. Jubilee has like a turtleneck. I think having some neck visible would be helpful to kind of get that on there. She's got shorts on, but they are form-fitted, so we can just sort of draw the legs in and just put lines for those afterwards. The boots on this one are really wide and square at the bottom, which is not what we want because Jubilee's got these fashionable, smaller toe things, but the tops are big. So I think what I'll do is use this foot as the base for the bottom of the boot. I think we're going to lose this arm being up this high because it's not going to allow us to get this distinctive collar. I think maybe we'll just kind of have this arm a little bit lower. There's sort of like baggy boots. That's a thing?
A few moments later.
All right, so I brought the colored Gambit back into the image here because I want to reference some of the colors that I used here so that I can repeat as many as possible so I can kind of keep the color palette pretty simple. Jubilee's got these red earrings. We could use the pink color, but I want to try the red. I think it's worth it having the red earring. And now I just want to do a little kind of highlight in the glasses. So I think I'll take this pink color and then just do a little bit of a lighter tone there and then just kind of draw those in. All right, who's next? So I'm thinking a mermaid man would make a good beast because he's got that robust body and just is a chunky guy like Beast. I think it's mermaid man. Let me know in the comments if I'm getting this wrong. I'm not an expert on the names of all these characters like SpongeBob, but I haven't watched all of it, you know? Just love the style. Anyway, I think this body is a good starting point, but I also love that Beast has glasses sometimes to just really show that he's a real smart guy.
Crucial role mutation.
So I found this other character. I don't know who this is, to be honest. Let me know in the comments if you know who this fish with glasses is. But I like the shape of this head, the expression. I just think it's good Beast energy. So I'm thinking I'm gonna start with Mermaid Man's body and then work this head into it and try to get them to work together. That's the plan, at least. So I think I can use pretty much this whole torso in this belt thing that matches Beast's thing, and these can be his little X-Men undies over his legs. I think that's really all Beast is wearing is his little undies. We can use the leg pose, but I'm just gonna make them a little beastlier. So we'll do some chunkier thighs, maybe put a little kneecap and then a calf muscle. Keeping them still skinny. And then Beast has just got these beastly big feet. So I'm just gonna match the overall length, but then get some toe action in there. Do the same for this one. He's got really big hands, but this character's got pretty big hands too. I think we could just make them a little bit bigger and then just get some of those muscles in. Bicep thing. I'm not making them too enormous because I don't want to take away from this shape and the proportions of this body. I'm just going to make the hand just a little bit bigger. Maybe some mild musculature. Okay, let's see if we can get this head to work. We can use the chin and then this overall shape. Definitely the glasses. The glasses are my favorite part. I think those really are SpongeBob-y, but also express the smart Beast. The eyes too that are kind of shut. I feel like that's smart. It's a smart look. Just not fully open. And he's got just a regular normal nose. That already looks like Beast for some reason. We can get a little bit of that side facial hair stuff happening there. A little bit of butt chin. And then we got to draw this wild hair. Thinking we just kind of pull that in. He does have these pointy ears. Those are crucial. And then just get this other side. Have that come to a point in the middle. I think this is going to work. I think we're getting it. Now we just got to put it onto the body and see how they come together. I think it's going to work. I'm going to tighten this up. I'll be right back.
Eventually.
All right, so I got Beast here. I brought in Gambit and Jubilee to reuse the colors. And we could use the darker blue for some of the hair and his X-Men undies. So I think I'll just come in here and draw some lines to use for this, the beard or side fur, whatever this is. Just a little bit of shadow in the ear, a bit under the nose. Just give a little bit of shape to some of these muscles. A yellow belt. Then we just need the red for the center of the X. Just a little bit more detail. I think they're looking good. I feel like it's starting to feel like a real X team under the sea.
Now,
Cyclops. I don't know what it is, but he gives off a Squidward vibes.
you're right.
And I think this Squidward is going to make the perfect Cyclops. I'm not quite sure why, but they just sort of, I don't know, they both take themselves very seriously.
No, Patrick, mayonnaise is not an instrument.
I think this pose is very Cyclops, because he's just like, I'm in charge, I'm very serious. Let's put some goggles on. And I think we won't use that round top of the head because it's very squid-like, but I think we can use it for his flowy, luxurious hair. Maybe we'll just use that that shape to just pull this hair over. He's got that little bit of a side part thing happening. And we'll just put this center rectangle for his lasers. He needs a little bit of muscle. He is a superhero after all. We put his belt on, got his undies, and then I think we'll just keep this shape of the legs, but then just have the 2 legs as opposed to these multiple tentacles. It's already hilarious. Got the X there. He's got another X in his belt. So he's got like gratuitous X's because he wants to make it clear he's big shot X-Man. He's like, I'm the captain. Captain X Cyclops. Cyclops. This one was easy. We're going to tighten this up. I'll be right back.
Day 2.
We got tightened up Cyclops. Feeling pretty good about him. I had this epiphany that Plankton would make a great Wolverine. They are both angry little guys.
I feel the way I feel, bub.
This position, I think everything is just full Wolverine-age coming at us. I feel like we're just going to have to make some minor tweaks here. So maybe these legs can get a little bit more detail, like we do a little bit of a thigh, and then like Wolverine's got those boots with the wings. The question is to keep it a single eye Cyclops, if you will. Wolverine is distinctive enough that we're not going to lose anything. Let's just lean into the Plankton vibes and go with one eye. Actually, let's make this mount the same, but just a little bit shorter so we have a little bit more room to show Wolverine's costume. Beef him up a little bit. Not a ton, just a little bit. Claws. Schnick. I think that's what they say. Schnick. Undies over the pants. Crucial. The claw stripes that he has on his jammies. That's Wolverine. Wolverine if I've ever seen one. All right, got the rest of the team in here. I'm going to color these in based on the colors that we have, just like we did for the others. Wolverine's got yellow shirt, and then yellow legs, and then yellow on the top of his hat. Cyclops has yellow undies, yellow gloves, yellow strap, yellow goggles, yellow boots, or those garter belts. Get this skin tone for all these pasty X-Men. A little bit of detail, just to give it a little extra, a little something.
This is a load of barnacles.
Okay, so the last thing that we need is an X-Men logo that looks like the SpongeBob logo. So what I'm going to do is look for letters that have shapes that I could use to create the X-Men letters, unless there's actual letters that we can use. For example, like the E and the N, we can use those letters, but there's not an X. I'm going to find the next best thing, which is something that could be turned into an X. Now I'm thinking this B over here, I might be able to accomplish it. So I'm going to trace this part of it, and then let's go ahead and duplicate this area and flip it and see. I think that's pretty okay. I'm going to try flipping it vertical as well. See what that does. Kind of interesting. I think it's a little too dramatic, but I think we can work with that. We're going to need an M. We don't have an M, but there is an N, and those are pretty similar. So let's start with this N shape, and then what we can do is just sort of stop it like that, and then shift this over. Just retrace that hump of the N again. And now we've got an M that matches the style. So I'm doing these all in separate layers so it's easier for me to move them around afterwards to configure them. There's already an E, so we can use this. Trace the N now. So I'm going to move the X over here to the beginning and then try to map these letters out in a way that somewhat mimics the SpongeBob logo, even though this is a much shorter word. I'm thinking we can use the 97 from X-Men to make it a little bit longer. So I'm thinking this M could be a little bit bigger. Let's play into the sort of wiggly, wonky, shifting baselines and angles thing that's happening with the SpongeBob letters, and maybe kind of rotate the N and tuck it sort of like that. We just need that dash, so I'm just going to draw one in that's the same width. And now for the 97, what we can do is just use this lowercase b and then flip it. For the 7, start with this O and then just kind of follow that shape. Shift the baseline down a little bit and then just add in a little jobber like so. The X could use a little bit of tweaking. So I think I'm just going to simplify the X a little bit and kind of match the sides so they're not like dramatically different, because none of the other letters are like that. But the overall shape, I think, is pretty good. All right, so now we just need that like 3D action from the SpongeBob logo. So I'm just going to draw that in. I think this is looking pretty good. Let's just put some spots in here. All right, I think I could just tighten this up a little bit and color it in and then work it into the composition.
12 o'clock midnight.
All right, here's the lettering and the composition. I really feel like this little detail starts to bring it all together. I think we just need to put this on like this blue, like a teal underwater background. I think that really ties it all together, makes that pink and Gambit's magic thing really pop. One thing I'm remembering is that Gambit has red eyes, something we gotta fix. So let's just come in here to my color layer, grab this red from Cyclops' goggles, fill that in. Looking pretty badass, I do have to say. I'm wondering if we take just a wee bit of this pink, just give it a little bit of a highlight on there. I think that looks pretty cool. And the only thing I'm thinking now is Cyclops needs to be shooting a laser beam right across the composition. Think of just a little something like that. That's what I'm talking about. I don't know if you're as surprised as I am, but this turned out much better than I thought it would. If you enjoyed seeing the X-Men redrawn like SpongeBob, I think you might like this other video where I draw Wolverine like a character in Ren and Stimpy.
Oh boy!
Do you want to see me do other weird character mashups? Or am I just the only one who enjoys this? If you have ideas for other character mashups, let me know in the comments. Currently working on a series of X-Men Garbage Pail Kid parody mashups. If you have ideas for those, let me know. I think it's been a good talk. What do you think? Wolverine Bottom. Hey, Bikini Bottom. They wear the bikinis over their pants. See? Makes sense.